Shalom. First, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Raha HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, from whom I learned this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 elect. I am Ayakala. And not really sure what I'm going to call this, but it probably won't be very long. I just wanted to bring out a couple of verses about enduring, persevering, and holding on to this truth. There's a lot going on right now, all right, and we're in the very beginnings of Jacob's trouble, so it's a lot of things, a lot of temptations, a lot of things tugging at you right now, and a lot of demons trying to convince you sometimes that you're not a man of the Lord. So this is the time to really buckle down and hold on to this truth. All right. The first verse that I wanted to bring out is Revelation chapter 3, verse 11. It says in the red letter, this is Yahweh Shai speaking. It says, "Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown." And that crown is this truth. All right. Holding on to the teachings that what we've been taught by the men of Great Millstone, by the elder apostles, elder bishops, the elders. It's important that we hold on to those things and hold on to the scripture, all right, because that's going to be our stability in the times that we're coming into. They're even talking about a blackout that's supposed to be pretty imminent as far as this power going out, the power grid being attacked, all right, and we know it could be, with them talking about it, it very well could be, and I'm not going to say it, but the false, the double F's, you know what I'm talking about, and just in an effort to try to bolster up people to join in this military, all right, to join into this fight that this current administration has going on. All right, there's even well, we know that in December, males that turn 18 are going to be automatically enlisted in selective services, all right, and they're having a mock draft, I believe, in the next couple months or so. So could be a draft coming up. So you got to look for those false double F's, all right, because they're going to try to do something in order to try to get people to join this military, to join into this fight, all right. So it's very important to hold on to this truth, all right, and continue being watchful, all right, recognizing the things that's coming, all right, because a lot of the prophecies have come to fruition, all right. A lot of things going on, such as just wars. We're seeing those all over the place. We're seeing climate, different things with the climate going on, such as earthquakes and floods, and we're seeing a whole lot of different plagues going on, all right, and we have to be able to call these things out and recognize them as they happen, all right, because these things are written in the scripture, all right. We're waiting for that next major thing to take place, with that MOTB, all right. We even see that getting closer and closer to happen, because with this thing going on with the economy, we've just seen it go up. The United States has reached a $40 trillion deficit, all right. So you just never know what's going to take place in these next few coming months, all right. These banks very well could be setting themselves up to be in a position where there's some type of bailout for these banks. So you never know what could happen as far as if you have savings in these banks. All right, could be a bank run. It could all kind of things are going to be taking place here pretty soon. So it's just important to continue to be watchful. I'm going to go to Matthew chapter 12. Verse 13, it says, Then saith he to the man, Stretch forth thine hand. Let's see, is that really what I want? Let's see. That might not be what I want. Salakia. No, that's not the verse that I want. So, okay, let me see here. Alright, I'll come back to it. If I find what it really is that I really wanted, I'll come back to it. But one word that I wanted to look up was persevere. And this is according to Google AI, the meaning of perseverance. It says perseverance means keeping Salaki. It says perseverance means keeping up a steady, patient effort to do or reach a goal, even when things get hard, slow, or dull, or Salaki, slow or full of roadblocks. It is the choice to not give up. Some of the core ideas of perseverance is not quitting, no quitting, staying on the path when you want to stop, and bouncing back, handling failure or bad news and trying again, and doing daily work, doing a little bit each day to beat a hard task. So those are three important core ideas for perseverance. All right, no quitting. All right, like I was just talking about, just staying in this truth. All right, making sure that you're doing, you're studying each day, whether it be reading, or whether it be watching videos and taking notes, or or just a combination of the two. All right. And if it is a day where you should miss a day and you don't get it because of the worldly affairs can sometimes have you going where you're not not able to get a chance to sit down and take that time to be able to read, but you want to be able to bounce back and not just beat yourself up because you missed that day. You didn't get a lesson in, or you didn't get a video done. You want to make sure that you bounce back and come back even harder the next day. All right. And just doing this work, we have to do this work daily. All right. It's important that if you're doing something each day, whether you, like I said, you're watching a lesson, watching videos, doing reading, studying. All right. Doing your videos, making sure that you put forth lessons. So it's important just to stay diligent, persevere, and keep moving forward in this truth. Gonna go over to 1 Peter. Salakia. First Peter chapter 1. Verse 13 says, "Wherefore, gird up the loins of your mind, be sober, and hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of the Yahushua HaMashiach." It says in the NLT, so prepare your minds for action and exercise. Self-control. It says, put all your hope in the gracious salvation that will come to you when Yahushua HaMashiach is revealed to the world. All right, so we have to constantly endure. All right, and build yourself up. All right, because like I said, that blackout could be imminent. All right, and who knows how many days you could be without power. All right, especially if this power grid is attacked. They're already predicting that could very well be happening. All right, and who knows how long. They even predicted about amount of time that it would be down, and I guess that was probably an estimate of the repair time, depending on what kind of things are done to the grid. All right, but from what I understand, that grid is open, where anybody can do something to that grid at any time. All right, which doesn't make sense. Gonna go to Galatians chapter 6 verse 9 says, "And let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not." NLT says, so let's not get tired of doing what is good. All right, we have to keep doing this work. We have to keep going out on the highways, all right, and bringing forth this truth, all right? Even though there might be some times where, weather might be discouraging, or whatever you might have going on in the world, all right? Might try to prevent you from going on, but you have to go out and make sure that you go out to the highways and bring forth this truth. That's important, all right? It says, at just the right time, we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't give up. All right, because no man know what hour Yahushua is going to return back to destroy this place. All right, so you want to be found doing work and being diligent. All right, and doing what's expected of us. All right, daily. And I'm gonna go to Hebrews chapter 12. I'm gonna start right here, verse 1. Hebrews 12 and verse 1. It says, "Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. All right, and especially when we go out on the highways and hedges, you got eyes that are watching you. All right, seeing what kind of things you do, see what kind of behavior you have. All right, and for those who might even know, all right, that we're in this truth. All right, such as family members or such as people that you might have been around in the world, they're going to be keeping their eyes on you to see just how you behave. And when you're not in front of the camera, they're going to see. They want to watch and see how you behave when you're not on the highways and hedges. All right, and it's just to see if you're really living this thing like you profess to say that you are living this thing. All right, so keeping that in mind, and not only that, not just the eyes of man, or Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai has eyes on you as well. All right, so you have to be diligent, knowing that, all right, there are eyes, there are people always watching you to see if you're really living out this thing the way you say you are. All right, and I just have a couple more. Like I said, this is not going to be very long. I'm going to go to the book of John, book of St. John, chapter 15, verse 9. And again, this is in the red letter, so this is Yahweh Shai speaking. It says, "As the Father hath loved me, so have I loved you. Continue ye in my love." In the NLT it says, "I have loved you even as the Father has loved me. Remain in my love." And what it means to remain in the love of Yahweh Shai is, like I said, being diligent. All right, doing what's expected of us on a daily basis. All right, making sure we're getting our lessons out, making sure we're doing our studying. All right, making sure we're taking notes when we are watching videos that the brothers put out, the elders put out, and your elder apostles. All right, it's important that we're doing our due diligence and staying occupied. All right, and the very last one I'm going to bring out is I'm going to stay here in the book of St. John, chapter 17, verse 9. John 17, verse 9 in the red letter says, "I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine." All right, and he's talking about his elect. All right, it's Yahweh Shai speaking, so he's talking about the elect. That's who he prays for. All right, the ones that are out on the highways and hedges, the ones that are being diligent, the ones that are doing what's expected of them. All right, because he wants to return with those elect, the ones that the Father has given him. All right, so Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is being diligent, so we have to continue to be diligent as well. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and end that there. I pray that this has been edifying to the listener. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Shalom.